another episode on Prime Talks, and you are watching me on Kingsprimetv. Yes, we are live here in Owerri, Imo State, and guess what? I have another wonderful questions today. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school? All right, roll with me as we meet people to hear their answer. For now, hello, beauty.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm very well.
What is your name?
Onyechi.
Okay, Onyechi, I have a question for you. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Can I leave my studies because of education and go back to school? No.
Why?
It's not necessary, no.
How?
Education is important, quite alright, but money is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, money is important.
Yeah.
All right. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Can't leave my study for education. I didn't get the question.
Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Why do you think you can?
Leaving my study for education is tempting as study. So that's the reason sir, I said I can't leave it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. It's nice having you. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
My studies because of education.
Yes. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
No,
Why?
because I think my studies is very important. It's very, very important because if I don't study, I won't be able to study it again.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's nice having you. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school? Should I repeat? Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Well, what is education without study? You can only study, then you'll be educated. So education goes with study. So how can I leave study and go back to school?
Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Can I leave my studies because of education and go back to school? I don't understand that question. Study and education, are they not the same thing? Leaving my study because of education. I can't relate to those two things.
Okay, and the answer is
I can't leave my studies.
okay. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school? Should I recap?
Please recap.
All right. Can you leave your studies because of education to go back to school?
Studies, education, school. Okay, studies is what you're reading. Education is acquiring knowledge, and then school is a place. So I think they are intertwined. There's no one to leave. Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you very much. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Okay, like I said before, the three can be separated. So I can't leave my study for education because because education, studies, they're all the same. So like the question, let's say, is rhetorical or confusing a bit.
What is education?
Education is is a process whereby we acquire knowledge and skills. What I'm doing.
Okay, thank you very much. That is really, really awesome. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Leave my studies.
Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
I don't understand the question. Can I leave my studies because of education and go back to school? Okay. Let me say no.
Why no?
Because it's the most important thing. You understand? It's the most important thing. So if you have to do something, you have to give the most important thing more focus first.
So between education, studies, and school, which one is the most important?
Education, studies, and school. Okay, education.
Okay.
What am I talking, sir? Studies, please. Leave education. Studies is the most important. Yes.
So what difference between studies and education?
Okay. Education is just like it is an institution. You understand? Education has to do with this institution because they will bring out what you people will study about, and they'll give you like concepts, contents of what people will do. But studies is you research. You understand? Based on what you want to know about that thing you want to know, you research on it.
Thank you very much. It's nice having you. Can you leave your studies because of education and go to school?
Can I leave my studies? Yes.
Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
I don't understand that question.
You hear it.
Yes. Can I leave my study because of education and go back to school?
Yes, that is the question. Which is your answer?
It seems confusing. It's a confusing question. Well, I don't know. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to say it.
But what's the meaning of studies?
Studies. Studies is learning. It's learning also. It's a type of learning. Studying is learning also.
Okay. So what is school?
School is a place where we study. It's a place where we learn. So that's school.
Okay. What's the difference between education and school?
Education. Difference between education and school. Education is the art of transferring knowledge into the child, while school is a place where you transfer the knowledge in the child, where the child is being educated. So that's the difference.
Okay, thank you very much. It's nice having you. Super, thank you.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
have a wonderful day. Okay. Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Wow. Leave my studies because of education and go back to school. Three of them are actually the same, basically, because education is being achieved in the school.
Okay.
Studies is being done in the school.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It's
you're
nice
welcome.
having
Yeah, I
you.
appreciate
Can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
Leave my studies
Because of education
because of education
and go back to school.
and go back to school. My sister. I'm going to get around the can what I hear because it's confusion nishi. But I cannot leave my education and go back to school because of studies because I've already studied. Thank you.
Because you're very what?
I've already studied.
What is education?
Education is a process or a means whereby you go to school to study. But now I'm telling you that I've studied. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. It's nice having you. Okay, can you leave your studies because of education and go back to school?
No.
Why? All right, we've come to the end of today's episode on Prime Stock, and I really had fun. I'm sure you too, you enjoyed yourself. All right, please do not forget to follow us on other of our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The Facebook page is KPTV Official. Twitter page is Kingsprimetv, and the Instagram page is Kingsprimetv Official. And do not forget to visit our website at www.kingsprimetv.com, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Kingsprimetv. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Yeah, Kingsprimetv Entertainment, just the way you and I like it, love it. I love you. Stay tuned. Bye.